Help KZOM Radio build towards the future. We are currently looking to expand our network and need all the help and support we can get. Please visit kzomradio.com/fundraising for details. Hey, all you zombie fans, welcome back to another great episode of The Zurvivalist. My name is Matt Jarbo, and I'm here today with Charlie from Boston. Charlie, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, Matt. How about yourself?
Doing well. Having a lot of fun BSing about movies with you before the show. That's always good.
Absolutely.
And for all of you guys listening at home, if you're curious, we are talking about PCU and Idiocracy and why they're great. So, food for thought after the show for stuff to watch. So, okay, Charlie, you are from Boston. I have not had anyone on the show from that section of the East Coast yet. So, this is going to be a lot of fun.
First.
And how long have you lived there pretty much your whole life?
Yeah, I was born right outside Boston. I moved to New York for a semester and came back to live right outside the city for the rest of my 24 years.
Good. So, okay, well, I'm just going to get right down to it. How would you survive a zombie outbreak?
Just like anybody else, I live by two rules, and they're stay alive and don't get bitten.
Okay, those are good.
They sound simple, obviously, and all the zombie fanatics out there know they're not so simple. I have a major addition to the complication of staying alive and being bitten, or not being bitten rather, is I have narcolepsy. It's not where I sleep with dead people. For those of you who think I'm sleeping with dead people, it is a sleeping disorder. So I will constantly and unexpectedly fall asleep, which, as you would expect in a zombocalypse, would be pretty disastrous.
It would create quite the challenge of survival. That's for certain.
So, I can stay awake on medication. There are medications that they are not easy to get. Like I have to go in every month, and it's a pain in the ass just to get it. They keep them in a safe in the pharmacy. So I have a couple things that I have to do just in order to survive. In a low grade, like it's not zombies everywhere, zombocalypse, I'm staying inside, hoping the authorities can take over, and I think that I would suggest that to everybody, barricading and all that, and locking myself in the closet with some books so I don't go crazy. On a larger scale, where the military's out and it's gone to high hell and it's the end of the world essentially, I'm still going to survive, and I'm really confident in that because I'm absolutely willing to become a drug addict and be a complete cokehead just to make sure that I can stay awake and I won't get eaten by zombies. It's got some complications again to it. Is first off, where the hell am I going to find these drugs? So I have to loot pharmacies.
Sure.
I have to, which I'm not a recreational drug user. I don't condone drugs unless you're going to be eaten by a zombie.
Well, if you figure if you're going to die, you might as well go out while you're high.
Oh, absolutely, and get that adrenaline rush, get it going, have a good time. It's not like if the world's ending, the rules kind of go out the window too.
Pretty much, yeah. At that point, I don't think anyone's going to care. No one's going to ask for a drug test.
No.
For your next job, taking dead bodies down to the dump.
Chopping zombies' heads off and stuff.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this then. So, if you have to be on medication, and are there alternatives to the medication that you could do? I mean, like I'm unfamiliar with, the treatments of narcolepsy.
Sure.
If you're able to take could you start really smoking a whole bunch of meth, and that would keep you up?
Actually, I joke with my other narcoleptic friends that we're all legal, hopheads. What they prescribe us to speed, and they prescribe us to Adderall and Ritalin, and so we're all just high all the time off of stimulants.
Nice.
And so I enjoy it. It's a good time, and it's legal, and it's what I'm supposed to do. And still, we fall asleep throughout the day. I'll throw one more at you. I have what's called narcolepsy with cataplexy. Cataplexy is, when you're asleep and you wake up and you can't move your body?
Yeah.
It's called sleep paralysis. I get that randomly throughout the day, so I'll fall down. And I can't use my muscles for a little bit of a time. They treat that with very mild antidepressants. I don't know why. So I guess it's a chemical imbalance or something. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I just take the drugs. And
Sure.
so I also have to find that. But as I get less medicated, it becomes more prevalent. So that's another complication I have to do uh, with a zombie apocalypse.
So you'd really
So,
want to kind of stay close to, some place where you could easily get access to this kind of stuff.
oh,
If
absolutely.
you don't take the if you don't take the medication, do the symptoms increase?
Oh, yeah, big time. Uh, I'm the third in my family with narcolepsy, and well, one's undiagnosed, but we're pretty sure he has narcolepsy. And it gets if I stay like on medication throughout the day, I'm pretty normal. I might fall asleep once or twice, just real quick.
Yeah.
Off medication, before I was diagnosed, I slept the majority of September, October, November, December. I was like a bear in hibernation. It was pretty intense.
Wow. That is pretty crazy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, apparently, so this would definitely be like your biggest challenge
Oh yeah,
would
without a
be
doubt.
would be to not. Now, do you have like a girlfriend or significant other that could at least, help you, or, friends that would get your back? Like you couldn't go lone wolf. There would be like no way
Oh
for
yeah,
you to survive in a lone wolf scenario.
um, I would have to isolate myself and really board it up and just stay silent if I was lone wolf. Um, I have some really, really good friends. I've been friends with my best friend since I was 8. A couple of my other friends have been better part of a decade, and they're smart, and a lot of us are tough. I would not consider I would consider those two mutually exclusive groups sometimes within my friends, but you know, I've wrestled for 10 years, and a lot of my friends wrestled, and a lot of my other friends are just way smarter than me. So it's a good mix.
So
Uh,
you'd have a strong support group that
oh
would
yeah,
be able to work together, uh, and at least get by. So I'm looking at this here. It says that there's what, like 617,000 people in the city,
yeah.
roughly.
It's
And whereabouts are you located? Like, are you located in you said the outskirts, right?
I'm actually a couple towns out, so I'm in a smaller town. It's about 32,000 people.
Okay.
Uh, the plan I've given my mother, so because I would go to her house because it's more fortifiable, is it's 3 stories, and we have to put it nicely, and she's gonna yell at me for this. A lot of crap in the house. Um, I've told her because we can access the roof from the third floor that we need to barricade the doors, blockade the stairs with all the crap that we don't need, get all our supplies into the attic, and live up there. So that'll be. It's kind of like our. This is again. She's going to yell at me because we're Jews. It's going to be like our Anne Frank kind of style.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
was already to say this is you're talking about like
yeah,
Anne Frank scenario here.
exactly. And so it's good. The blockade and the barricading of the doors will give us enough time if we get overrun that we're going to be able to get out, let them come in, light stuff on fire, whatever we have to do to get out, and we just would make sure that we travel in ones or twos, and we have a ladder which will be able to get us up and down. Um, I don't believe zombies would be smart enough to climb, but I do believe looters would be, and other people. But
I always figure in a situation like that, the looters would be more of a problem than the zombies.
yeah,
Because
which
they
is
have no disregard, they have no, they have complete disregard for any, like, let's say, quote unquote, rules of a zombie apocalypse, which is like the more noise attracts more of them, and
hmm
then they can quickly amass in numbers, and
oh
that's
yeah,
when the problem. And it's kind of like, like the ending of the original Dawn of the Dead, when they break into the mall and they let all of them in,
oh yeah.
type situation. So yeah, that'd be what you have to worry about. But let's kind of mix it up for a second here. Let's say that you can't get to your mom's house, that you can't fortify yourself in the third story.
All
Where
right.
would you go?
Next option would be my best friend Scott's apartment. It's not ideal. I'll admit that he's got the problem is it's a dense area with a lot of people. Um, I believe that zombies don't run. I don't. That's my personal opinion. So
Mine
it's one of
too.
those things. I got to stay protected, but he's on the ninth floor. Um, so once we clear out the ninth floor of all of the zombies, it's going to be better. Again, I'm a big advocate for just putting a bunch of crap in the stairs and finding an alternative way down. I don't know if that's possible on the ninth floor, but much like in 28 Days Later when he's in the riot suit and they arrive at that apartment.
Yeah.
It makes it so much harder for the zombies to get to and for people to get to. So you have the time to get out and use your escape plan.
Well, plus the great thing is, I mean, in the non-running zombie apocalypse, if that same scenario was to happen, they were in 28 Days Later they were infected, and
Yeah,
they were full on, raging and running
yeah.
up the stairs, and Brendan Gleeson's like kick, like f off and everything. So,
Hmm.
there's that. So, okay, so you say at your friend's house, but is he prepared for like long term? You know,
No,
uh,
I'm
like
the one who's prepared for long term. This is my lone wolf scenario. I actually um, recently have started stocking. I have a walk-in closet that I don't use as a closet. It's now becoming more of a pantry. It's started with just water and shelves. It holds my tools, which I can't use a sword. I can't use any of that. So my weapons are tools. Like I would much rather use a crowbar and a Louisville Slugger than a katana because I cut my own leg off with the damn katana.
those are more. It's more practical to use you know, a
Oh,
bat
absolutely.
or a machete or
Yep.
things of that nature than a katana because most people don't know how to use them anyway. So
Yeah. I'm not. I've never been like I guess, a graceful person. I'm more of the bash and go kind of guy.
sure, sure.
And I also believe, you don't need to kill the zombie to get away. Again, my rules are stay alive and don't get bitten. So if I can get the hell out of there by running, that's what I do. I have my longboard right by the door because I can get up to like 15 miles an hour on smooth enough roads and downhill, and no zombie's going to be catching me at 15 miles an hour. And I can go for long distances on my longboard. Um, I try my main goal, and this would be my lone wolf scenario is, I'm gonna have at least 3-4 cases of water, a bunch of canned food. I have my tools in there. Again, my longboard, which the trucks can double as a weapon, uh, and then I would have my clothes right across the way, which I have a leather jacket. I've got my thick jeans, my steel-toed boots, all that stuff. So I make sure I'm well protected.
So you wouldn't have really much to worry about, them like accidentally scratching you or or biting you. They'd have to really like knock you down
Oh yeah.
to get you. So okay, so let's like listen, if you had to leave the city, where do you think you would go if you couldn't stay?
Um, I used to work on this farm. In a town called Dover. It's a less populated town. It's one of those really rich towns, so you only see driveways, you don't see houses.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, okay. I understand that.
and I worked on a farm that I know they're not exactly secret passages, but they're not very apparent passages. And I know where all the supplies are. There is a hayloft, which would suck because I'm allergic to hay and I'd sneeze all the time, but you know, better than dying. Um, I'd get up there, I'd barricade it, and what I would do is I'd start looting the grocery store and supplying up there, all that. And there is a prison down the street. I'm a big advocate to getting into the prison during a zombie apocalypse. The reason is it's an isolated population. You run the risk of a guard coming in infected and biting um, the inmates,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a lot less likely because they're behind bars. Now you run your own risk of having to deal with inmates, but this is a medium or low security prison. It's not going to have your killers and your violent offenders. It's
No,
going
it's
to be
gonna have like your blue collar criminals.
oh yeah, your potheads, your drunk drivers, all that. So they're not terrible people. I still am not excited to go, but then this is setting up for the long term. It's got land I can cultivate. It's got the ability to make a well. It's got uh, room for livestock, and if the undead get in there, I can close down sections so we can lock them off. It also has a cache of weapons, and it's off the beaten path. So that's my ultimate goal. Is I want to get to. It's called Dedham Prison. It's a couple towns away from Dover, but it's right down the street.
Hmm. So I mean that sounds like a pretty good plan. But we're
Well, thanks.
definitely we're definitely running low on time here. So I'm just gonna ask you the last question I ask everyone on the show, which is if you were bit, what would you do?
Uh, I don't think I could off myself. I would elect to tie myself down, chain myself up, whatever. put a warning up before that, and if I have someone who I don't know that well or a loved one who's willing to do it, I'd have them shoot me.
That's probably the best.
Yeah, I'm kind of a wuss. I really like living. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, plus you got to find that one person who's willing to pull the trigger, which is always a task within itself.
Oh yeah.
But that is all the time we have for today. Charlie, thank you very much for being here. I
Do you
liked
mind if I
your
plug
plan for
one
going to the
thing?
prison.
Do you mind if I plug one thing before we go?
Yeah, feel free to plug whatever you want.
Um, they're doing a sleepwalk in Washington D.C. for narcolepsy awareness.
Sure.
I'm just pulling up the stuff now, and it's through an organization called Wake Up Narcolepsy. Check it out. It's a pub crawl. It should be a lot of fun, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah, send me a link for that, and I'll put it in the show notes when the show goes. When is the event?
I have no idea because I'm not going down to New York. That's too far for me.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. It's understood. Just we'll figure it out and we'll put it up on the site.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, you're welcome. Everyone listening at home, be sure to tune in next week for another great episode of The Zurvivalist. You guys can find more information at zurvivalist.com or on kzomradio.com or KZOM Radio on Facebook and Twitter. Hell, just Google it. You'll find it all over the place. My name is Matt Jarbo. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.